call to order the Tuesday, June 12th, 2012 Recreation Committee meeting. We have absent today Mr. Councilman Oliver Joseph and Councilman Brian Malonzo. I'd like to go ahead and start off with a prayer and a pledge of allegiance. Everyone please stand.
Please bow your head. Dear Lord, thank you for another wonderful day. Please give us the strength and wisdom to take care of our recreation issues in the parish. Lord, please just give the Joseph family a warm and helping prayer, and we ask all these things in your name. Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If anyone wants to speak, we'd like for you to sign up for the public comment period. The chair will entertain a motion to adopt the minutes from the May 8th, 2012 Recreation meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Motion passes. Next up, we have the director's report by Mr. Garney Gotro. I'm sorry.
Thank you. You got me back. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, council members. This is going to be a short meeting tonight. We're doing a little presentation on the different ballparks. We'll give you half of them this month, and next month we'll give you all the other half of it. We're doing a slide presentation for y'all's benefit. First thing we're talking about is the vandalism at the parks. The first month y'all was on the council, the first meeting we had, this is what happened at Paula Park. Thank y'all that I told y'all about it, but this is the pictures of it. You can see what they did. They tried to set a plastic garbage can on fire, and thank goodness it melted and didn't go up into the ceiling. This other one, at the meeting I brought to y'all, and I told y'all that Butch Gore Park had not been vandalized in about 5 or 6 months, but evidently they must have been watching TV, because this happened the same night, that morning. And a lot of stuff we painted out that we couldn't put on TV. Sheriff Wally is offered a $500 reward when this happened like 6 months ago. And he offered $500 reward. I'm going to add $500 out of my own pocket. This will give $1,000 anyone that'll come with information to lead to the arrest and conviction of these people. This has to stop. This is the third time, and every time it gets worse. We figure with the labor and stuff that we put in this thing, we're probably about $25,000 that we've had to take out of recreation to fix these young people. And we think that at least one of them is dropped off, because the one that was doing really neat signs and all, he wasn't there this time. So just that there's $1,000 up there for anyone that'll give us any information for the arrest and conviction of these people. The next one is the last week we had this storm that came through. This is a pole that was knocked off at the ground, snapped off at La Field, the 290 field. And this pole is something now that we have to look at all our poles and all, because they're in bad shape with the Butch Gore Park, and we have problems with them. And this is a pole that was snapped off at the ground, and it was rotten. So we're going to do a survey of all of them. Also in this same, we don't have it in this picture, but it blew off a dugout roof and tore up a new fence we just put up. We had to use some guys up there, had to come out the next day and fix the fence and everything to have the tournament that was going on that weekend. This is a opening they try to get into the gym at Lamar Dixon Center. They wasn't successful, but this is the stuff that we come to every Monday morning, and we can lock it. I mean, we got cameras, but they go around the cameras and all, and it's a shame that we got to lose maybe a day and a half sometimes with this kind of stuff. This got to stop, and whatever it takes to do it, we have to do something. The next one is the new projects that we got coming on board. This is half of the walk trail at Keystone Park. It's been so muddy we've been able to do the back part of it. Hopefully the end of next week or the week after, if it dries up, we'll be able to get in there and finish the rest of it. This was donated by Ascension Concrete that done this part of it. This is a picture of some of the parks and everything else. This is the boat launch that y'all agreed to us to buy for $150,000, and the guy ended up donating $185,000. And President Martinez had put us together with this guy, and he said he wanted to give something back to the community. I'd like for us, if it's possible, maybe one of the council members to give him some kind of recognition. This is the inside of the building here. They've sold every piece of copper except, we think, 80 feet of copper that they haven't taken out of the walls and stuff yet. And they broke into it, I want to say last Wednesday night, and all they had to do was go through the side door, and they could have went in and not tore the door up. The inmates have come in, and we'll show you all this at our next meeting. The inmates have come in. The sheriff gave us 4 inmates, and they worked yesterday and today, and they've taken all these ceiling tiles out. They've moved the bar out of it. And we hopefully that we can move our recreation department out there and be there all day long, so that at least it'll stop some of the stuff that's going on. This is the pavilion in the back of the boat launch. Whenever we get it all cleaned up, it's going to be super. That's we were hoping to put some picnic tables out there and benches along the waterway. And this is the boat launch, and I've talked to Rick Weber with OEP, and he's doing some checking on to see if there's any funds available, maybe to expand it, you know, and make it like twice the size of it. We have a diagram that President Martinez has seen already, and we'll give it to y'all at the next meeting. I think we're going to be able to put like 30 slots out there to park the boat, the trucks and the trailers and all. This is 2 of the guys, Troy and Rick, that come out and done a lot of the cutting the grass and everything else for us. I mean, the grass was like maybe 5 or 6 feet high, 4 feet in most of the places, and they had done a lot helping us clean it all up. I know y'all recognize this guy. This is Lyle Shea Snyder, who's been out there almost every day, and we figured we was just gonna lock him out, you know. But he's been out there every day working, helping us clean it up. This is the survey crews. We're trying to do it the right way this time. They're doing elevation shots, surveying the whole facility, so that whenever we get started, that we know where our lines are, and we put up the fence and all. We don't have to move them later on. And this is 2 guys that works for the survey crew, and they've done a super job. We've been out there like for 3 days, and now they're coming back, I think, this coming week, and marked all the corners and all for us. This is another guy at DPW that's come out there. They let us use a little track or whatever you call this thing, and they've done a lot of cleaning up for us. It's like every department's helping each other. It's a team effort. This is the Laurel Ridge boat launch. This is Richard Gautreau's brother-in-law that owns this property, and he leased it to us for nothing. We just done another 5-year lease with him before we upgraded it. And the DPW guys helped us do almost all of that work. So, I mean, it's all together. Now, this is a shot of the Butch Gore Park. Richard Gautreau was in our bucket truck that we bought 4 years ago with the help of the lighting district, major drainage, and DPW. And he was on top of the pole, and he said, you know what, this is pretty, so I'm going to take a picture of it. And this is the 4 fields. We have 7 fields at Butch Gore Park now to work with. And this is one that the pole he was on, I think, is one of them that we have to replace also. This is Lala Field. This is more probably the prettiest field in Louisiana. We have 4 fields there. We have a 290 field, and then we have 5 fields. And we have 3 fields inside the park plus the Lala Field. Behind that is where the pavilion is being built right now. That with the FEMA funds, that they had tore up the old pavilions, and this is a 16,000 square foot pavilion, and it's $379,000 that FEMA's doing. We're putting restrooms, concession stands, and the plans are in the future that we put a spray park, water park close to it, and also maybe 2 beach volleyball. That's real popular now all over. It's not that expensive to build those. So we're looking at doing that out there. This is Veterans Park. This is something that President Martinez almost threatened to fire me if that pavilion didn't get built. And it took us, I think, almost 6 months to finally get it. And I want to say it cost us about $28,000. And then they came in and painted the flag in the back of red, white, and blue, and it really brought it out. And we're real proud of this. This is Dara Community Center. I took this in the rain and all, and we're looking at doing Dara, Jackie Robinson, and Prairieville Ballpark. Our men are going to be finished baseball in July the 1st, and we're going into a preventive maintenance type program where we'll have probably 4 or 5 guys go to the park and stay there the whole week. We're starting like 2 months early. Last year we didn't start till August or September. This year we're going to start in the 1st of July, trying to do a baseball, whatever we get in baseball. In the middle of March and almost to end of June, it's almost impossible for us to do anything other than concentrate on the ball fields and all. This is Giles Community Center. This was built like probably 12 or 13 years ago, and this thing is rented Friday, Saturday, and Sunday almost every week. It's one of our biggest in Dara community also. And on the left side is where they do the tutoring and all for the kids and all, and they half of it is for tutoring and for the kids, and they do a great job. They're having a summer camp going on right now at Gosman Community Center. This is Hillville Park. This is where, Lemonville, I'm sorry. This is where we had built the walk trail and all, and we have a playground there and one baseball field in the back. The baseball field is not lighted, but it's very seldom used. This is Laurie Park. We have 2 pavilions built there. We have a playground. It's for 5, from 2 to 12 there. We've got probably right at $10,000 built. Spent there now, but the pavilion that you're looking at right now is the one that we're going to build at all the parks instead of getting new designs every time we build one. We, like with the restrooms, we settled on one plan for the restrooms and for the pavilions also. So whenever we build a pavilion, this is what we're going to have there. This is Modest Park. This is the rock that Oliver Joseph told me he wanted us to try to move out from under the trees and all. And we're going to do it, but it's going to be a major job because we've got to take it apart and move it. They have a playground that need to be reworked. We have 2 pavilions out there, and we have a baseball field that's lighted. We did use it last year for adult softball. This is the water park at Oak Grove Community Center. We're in the process right now of bidding out the center, completely remodeling. That's what we had asked y'all for last month, for the $40,000. And we're working on, the state is taking some of our property for the park, from the parking lot and all, and we're looking at maybe trying to expand. President Martinez and Councilman Chris Lohr has been working with the legislature for capital outlay, helping us out. This is the Ascension Gym. This is whenever we have the sock hop on Fridays. It's grown to right at 350 to 450 people every 5th Friday. If y'all want to come out and have a good meal and meet with the people, they'd be glad to meet y'all. And if y'all want to help us serve, we'd be glad for y'all to come out and serve with us. This is Stevens Park. This is what they call a wave. This is something that they had brought in like 3 years ago, and it holds like 20 kids, I think, can get on it. And that's one of the most popular things we have in the ballpark. We have 7 ballparks, and we've taken the back part of the park and cut all the grass, hauled dirt in, and we're using it for parking now. We've expanded our parking, 55 spots in the front and the back, more probably 100 and some we've got. Now we got them off the road. Now if we can just keep them off the private property that's around there, we'd be doing good. This is the lakes at Lamar Dixon. There's 14 acres of lakes. the people to go out there and a lot of people are fishing out there and all. We still don't have President Martinez's piers and docks out there, but I think it's coming. President. This is Paula Park. This is where we have T-ball. We have like 500 and something kids playing T-ball out there now. We took the basketball course that nobody was using anymore year before last and converted and put a 70 by 40 pavilion out there. Now they use that a lot on weekends and all. And we got the climbing rocks on the side too. That's real popular in the park. This is Jackie Robinson. Yeah, Jackie Robinson Park. That's the one of the parks we're going to start on as soon as baseball season's over with. We have a baseball field out there with it's lighted, and we've done some work on it week before last. They had a tournament out. They had a real good crowd and a well-behaved crowd that was at it. We have a young man that's a PE coach at Santa Monica, and they're the one that used it and all. And I tell you what, he policed it, and everything was good. That concludes my presentation on that part, and if you all have any questions.
Councilman Satterley?
Thank you, Gordon. That was a very, very informative report. I enjoyed it a lot. Just a couple just informational type things for me. Have y'all thought anything about signage for the recently acquired boat launch?
Do what, sir?
Signage for the recently acquired boat launch?
You mean naming it?
No, I'm putting up signs. Is there going to be any signage or anything indicating to the people, you know, it's a public boat launch, you can launch here, any with liabilities, you know?
Well, we've been looking at cleaning it up first and all, you know, but it'll be signs all over it because we got to get it legal. I talked to Mr. O'Neill about whether we needed permits. Talked to Eric, and he come out yesterday. I met with him out yesterday. Whether we need permits for the boat launch, everything, and evident. I don't think we do, but he's gonna check to be sure before. We're just trying to do it, take it a step at a time, and do it right whenever we do it. We met with the lady next door about the property boundaries and everything also, but we'll have signs all over.
And who painted that wonderful American flag at the Veterans Park?
Some of Jack Watson's kin people.
Well, that's
you know,
extremely well done. Very,
yeah,
very impressive.
It really brings out the park. I mean, whenever the trees are trimmed out, you can see it, you know, from the road.
Yeah, very, very nice. Thank you. That's all I have.
Next month, we'll bring y'all up to date. We'll have pictures for the pavilion that's being built in Donsonville, and also a plan that we have. Y'all have also in y'all's package the design that we're looking at for Harryville. Is that in y'all's package?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, and this is something that Martha and I had been working on, trying to work on the grant and everything. And we'd met with Councilman Turner to go over it and all, and it's something that, you know, it won't happen overnight, but the fire department in Harryville gave us, well, not gave us, but we worked an agreement where they give us 300 and something feet across the back of it, and it comes to about 3.5 acres that we're going to build up. That we're going to try to put that pretty close to that part. That and we'll have for the next meeting, we'll have it on the TV for y'all. And also we'll cover the Sorrento Park. That's an acre land that we'd gotten from the health unit, and we had to do an agreement with them. We'll give y'all what we want to do on it. Pretty much everything I want to report. Y'all got any questions?
Just a couple things, Mr. Turner.
Councilman Lambert?
Yeah, Travis, and I want to give you a big thanks too, there, man. I know you're out there working hard, but also the parish president and all his staff. You know, we need to keep, you know, showing and informing the public on all of this before it gets better. I mean, we have to let people know what's going on in our parks, you know,
Sure.
the good with the bad, but I think the more that's out there, we're going to have people coming in to help us, and we're going to have some of the best parks that like you said, in the state, and I
We
really.
get a lot of compliments on the park when people come. I forgot to tell y'all, graduation week, we don't let them practice ball, and we rent the fields to tournament, for tournaments and all. And the Lady Hawks has been renting for more probably 12 or 15 years. In King of the Hill, I know has been doing it for, I don't know how much. Anyway, we had 106 teams from all over Louisiana. None of them was from out of the state, but we had them all over Louisiana. We had 106 teams here for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, you know. And I guess we don't pat ourselves on the back, but for an economic impact, I think that was pretty darn good, had that many people here. I know the lady at Sonic, and that's the one way out by Lamar Dixon, she said they sold out of everything. They had, you know,
Yeah.
kids coming in. You could tell they were baseball kids because they had the uniforms and all on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's one of the, I'll close out with that. And Miss Beth, she's made it many a time, the comments that, you know, we're making memories at these parks. So, and we want to make good memories. And one other thing, the skate park, how we doing?
We
okay?
we put a fence across the back of it, and we didn't go far enough, so we got with council agent, which they've been real cooperative with us and all, and we're doing it may be finished now. We bringing it all the way to where it goes to, all the way to the National Guard Armory fence, and all the way to the council agent fence where nobody can go into the back part of it. So that's been done, and we put I think we got a porta potty out there. It's been delivered out there.
Yeah.
We've had a few instances. I was going to bring that up at the next meeting with the pictures and all of it and all. And we have the guy that helped us build the skate park.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the one that was persistent in getting it done and all. You know. So at the next meeting we have, we'll present that at the skate park. I left off about 4 or 5 different parks and all.
That's no problem.
Come back.
Yeah, I'm on the council on aging, and Miss Darlene, and we've been staying in contact with that, and appreciate you getting that fence up.
Yeah, oh yeah, right.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Councilman Sally?
Yeah, Gordy, my mother's turning over in her grave right now because I missed this on my first go-round, and so let me fix this real quick. And I'm sure that my fellow councilmen here tonight and those who aren't here that couldn't join us for other reasons would concur. That's a most generous offer, sir, that you did to put $500 of your personal money into the other amount to try to end this vandalism. I'm sure we're all concerned that one of those fires in a garbage can could spread and then we'd lose a whole park. They're graffiti the whole thing, and I really hope that, you know, we catch those perpetrators. But you, sir, are to be commended
Well,
for
appreciate
that
it.
personal sacrifice. And I know you do a whole lot more than just, you know, wanting to give that money, which may be realized or not, just in your performance and so forth of all your duties. I want to personally thank you for that.
Thank you, appreciate it. Sure.
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank you for getting Jackie Robinson Park straight before the Memorial Day tournament. I know it was
It come out good?
yeah, it came out good. I was actually riding a bike and I seen the trucks going out there, so I went back there and watched them for a little while.
Yeah.
Fixed the field up. And also, I'd like to thank, as far as the Ascension Gym, you know, we hosted a tournament there maybe a month ago, and it's a
Right.
really nice facility, and, you know, everything went well. Score clock works perfectly. It's large area, nice concession stand, so if anybody's looking to try to host anything out there, I think, you know, it's a good place to use.
And-
I had a couple of questions about the poles, the wooden poles at the fields.
Mm-hmm.
For each pole that has to be replaced, what's the cost on that?
The concrete was more probably, I'm just giving you, you know, more probably $9,000, $10,000, $11,000. The iron ones, what's bad about the iron ones, if they get bent, they finish, you know, they bent, you know what I mean? And I think they price, I mean, I don't think we could afford them. The ones with the wooden poles, most probably $2,000 or $3,000. I know whenever Gustav hit, we lost a pole, and I know Gustav covered the expense on it, but it's like $9,000 something to replace the whole top of it and everything, the fixtures and all. They're expensive, and what's happening, all our parks and everything is 25, 30 years old, and the poles at Butchcore Park and all, and it's something we're gonna have to fix this year, whenever the season's over with.
And I know we've talked a few times about sponsorships for different things. Do you think there's any way we try to find sponsors for those poles and maybe put their name on the poles? pole donated
I'll
by
try anything.
so-and-so company.
I mean, I don't mind going and ask somebody about a pole, for sure. That'd be easy, if we can do it, you know what I mean?
Right. All right, that's the last question I had.
Okay. Thank you.
Excuse me, Dr. Sally has one more question.
The idea just occurred to me when I was listening to Councilman Turner's comments about a sponsor. What's the chance, Gorney, that we could maybe put something on the internet inviting people to do this, encouraging them so, and saying that they could get a plaque or something? Or is that, have y'all tried that in the
I
past?
could check with legal and see how far we can go,
I'd go as far as you can.
Yeah, we do the sock hop, and it's from word of mouth. We get sponsors. Very seldom we have to ask anybody to
Right.
sponsor and all, and
Look,
it costs us anywhere from $500 to $800.
Well, I realize your dilemma and ours is being on this committee, since there's no real dedicated funds for recreation.
Right.
It's like the redheaded stepchild.
Yeah,
We've talked
sure.
about this before. So if it's legal, I would encourage any method, hook or crook,
Okay,
try breaking the law to try to get these poles back up and so forth.
sure. Yeah, 'cause I'd say, I know, you'd be surprised what a woodpecker can do to a creosote post, At Stevens Park, I don't know I think they have way more woodpeckers than anywhere else, because they have holes completely through the poles and all, and they big. They got some big ones out there too. Yeah.
Okay. I will move on to number 6. The chairman will entertain a motion to approve the start of negotiations to purchase 7 acres of property next to Bush Gore Park and to allow the parish president to sign purchase agreement.
Move, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Motion passes. Excuse me. Did you want to?
No, hey, look, I'm gonna shut up.
Well, I did have one quick question about. I know we have the map as far as the Bush Gore Park. So where exactly, when you're looking at the map?
When you're driving into the park, it's gonna be on the right side. If y'all ever been out to the park, Corey's Cabinets is on the before you come into the park. Then there's a strip of land, and that butt right against the. It's 200. I think it's 240 feet wide by 1,300 something feet. And President Martinez and I are going to meet with the people and talk. I mean, because we're not even at the stage of how much money, we're talking about and anything.
Okay.
I have to.
And what are we doing, President? Is it for park, what are we doing, parking, or what's going on?
Well, there's two things we could do. We could put 2 fields all the way at the back of it, at the end of the 1,300 feet. It's wooded and all right now, and we don't have any money to start on it. But I mean, if we get lucky and
Secure, yeah.
do something the first of next year or something, we may have some funds and all.
Okay, I know we moved on the motion kind of quick, but do we have any public comments on this one? Or did anybody? Okay. Yep. President Martinez.
Bush Gore was a park that we ended up buying on the spur of the moment. We had a grant to buy property. Had like less than 24 hours to sign a purchase agreement. The property that we had looked at, it was actually on 621, the first property, but they had a power line through it, and that made this was back in 91, 92. So it made it impossible to get the grant. They disqualified us on that. So we put together a quick deal. I passed Buddy Gore, who owned the property at the time, and asked him if he had any property. He said, yeah, I have about 15 acres on Harris Sawbar, but I don't want to sell it. I said, well, if you don't want to sell it, I really need to find something. I'm very limited. I got 4 or 5 hours. That's the time frame that I got to find a piece of property, and we're going to lose this grant. And so we talked about it for a long time, and I said, well, look, if you allow us to purchase this land, we'll name the park after your father. And he said, well, you would do that? I said, yeah, I would. We certainly could do that if you would allow us to buy this property. And it was all cleared, didn't have to knock a tree down. It was all high and dry, and that's how it came about. Yeah. But it's a beautiful park if you hadn't been out there, and it was dedicated specifically to girls softball at the time, and the first 4 fields were state of the art
Yeah,
at the
right.
time when we built them, and now there's 6 fields, you say?
Seven.
7. I count, but I never.
Six are lighted and
Yeah,
one's not.
the one in the front's not lighted.
Yeah.
So. But anyway, it's a nice park, and we're gonna look at the property. We've tried to buy the property on the other side. It was all cleared.
Yeah, right.
And, this one's got trees on it, but if we can expand it, and I just want to commend Gorney and them on a great job with the amount of funds that we do have to work with recreation. It's sometimes trying, and we can't get the best of the best every time, and we do the best we can with it. And again, it's always a struggle to try and squeeze those dollars and stretch those dollars to get what we get. And somehow or another, through innovation, Gorney gets the job done. So I want to commend him and his staff. A job well done.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Very good.
You know, Butch Gore Park is more probably the prettiest girls' park. I don't know how many of them they got in the state of Louisiana, but they can't have many of them. It's as big as it is. And whenever they came, it's like 3 weeks ago, we had 20 campers parked out there, which I don't know how we done it or why, you know what I mean? But used to have none out there. And it's not set up for campers, but they come out with the generators and all. And we more probably got to say, okay, we can't put the campers out there anymore because it's getting to where it's taking up all the parking and everything out there. But this is a state-of-the-art softball field. It's a fast pitch. Almost the whole league is fast pitch now. And we still didn't have this, what we got, 500, 600? About 600 girls participating in it all, you know.
Yeah, that is great.
That's it.
Man, that is great.
Move on to number 7.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Meeting adjourned.